Imagine this. You're a newborn child, cast away by your own father, left in the forest to die, surrounded by hungry beasts. Most would never survive. But this child didn't just live, she grew into one of the greatest heroines of Greek mythology. Her name was Atalanta, the huntress who outran kings,
blessed by Artemis,
defied her fate,
Atalanta was
and
no
lived a
ordinary
life
girl.
filled with triumph, love, and tragedy. But her story also reminds us of one thing. No matter how fast you run, you can never truly escape the gods. Atalanta's life began with heartbreak. Her father, King Shonius, desperately wanted a son to carry on his legacy. But when his child turned out to be a daughter, he couldn't accept it. In a cold, heartless act, he abandoned the baby in the wilderness. Think about that for a second. A tiny, helpless infant, left alone in the forest. What chance could she possibly have? But fate works in strange ways. Instead of being torn apart by wild animals, she was taken in by a mother bear. The bear nursed her, protected her, and raised her alongside her cubs. This bond with the wild-shaped Atalanta forever. She didn't grow up like other girls in the palace. She grew up fierce, strong, and untamed. Eventually, hunters discovered her, impressed by her resilience. They took her in and raised her as one of their own. From childhood, Atalanta showed astonishing skill with the bow and unmatched speed in the chase. She wasn't just surviving, she was thriving. As she grew, Atalanta joined the followers of Artemis, the virgin goddess of the hunt. She learned discipline, courage, and independence. Artemis S-Band wasn't a place for the weekend. Atalanta proved she was as capable as any warrior. Her father, racked with regret, eventually welcomed her back into his court. And now, the king who once cast her away couldn't hide his pride. His daughter had become a legend in the making. Word spread quickly. Atalanta was faster than even the fleetest deer. No one could match her speed. Her fame grew even more after the great Caledonian boar hunt. A monstrous beast terrorized the land, and heroes from across Greece gathered to kill it. Atalanta was the only woman invited to join the hunt. But she didn't just join. She stole the spotlight. Atalanta was the first to wound the monstrous boar, proving her skill before an entire assembly of warriors. Yet, the hunt ended in tragedy, with the death of the hero Meleager, who admired her deeply. This event cemented her place among the legendary figures of Greek myth, but destiny had more in store. It was then that a chilling prophecy was revealed. Asterisk, if Atalanta ever married, her life would fall into ruin. Asterisk, determined to protect herself, Atalanta declared she would never marry. She was beautiful, courageous, and the daughter of the king's suitors came by hundreds, eager to win her hand. Her father, trying to safeguard her from the prophecy, set a deadly condition. Whoever wanted to marry Atalanta had to beat her in a foot race. If they lost, they would pay with their lives. It was a brutal test. But suitors lined up anyway, enchanted by her beauty. And one by one, they failed. None could match her speed. Each man fell, not just in the race, but in death. After so many suitors perished,
from a cursed
the
prophecy,
king was certain
Atalanta
his daughter was
demanded
safe.
a deadly trial. Any
Surely,
man who
no
wanted
one
her
could
hand
ever beat her. But then came Hippomenes. Hippomenes was no ordinary suitor. He was young, swift, and clever. He had seen Atalanta race, and he knew the truth. While she was faster than him, she couldn't resist curiosity. Before the race, Hippomenes prayed to Aphrodite, the goddess of love. And she answered. The goddess handed him 3 golden apples shining, irresistible treasures. She whispered her instructions. Use them wisely, and Atalanta will be yours. The day of the race arrived. The crowd gathered. Atalanta stood tall, confident. She had never lost before. The race began. At first, Hippomenes ran with all his strength, but Atalanta was gaining on him. Just as she was about to overtake him, he pulled out a golden apple and tossed it on the path. Atalanta's eyes widened. The gleaming fruit rolled before her, and she couldn't resist. She bent down to pick it up. In that moment, Hippomenes surged ahead. But Atalanta was blazing fast. She caught up again in seconds. Then came the second apple. Again, she faltered. Again, Hippomenes pulled ahead. The crowd gasped. For the first time, it seemed she might lose. Near the finish line, Atalanta caught up once more, her speed unstoppable. But then came the third apple. She hesitated just for a heartbeat. And that was all Hippomenes needed. He crossed the finish line first. The unthinkable had happened. Atalanta, undefeated huntress, had been outbound by her father's vow. She married Hippomenes. For a while, it seemed the prophecy was wrong. The couple was happy, deeply in love. Atalanta had found a partner who matched not her speed, but her spirit. But in Greek mythology, no one escapes the will of the gods. There was one mistake, one small act of arrogance that doomed them both. They never thanked Aphrodite. The goddess who had given Hippomenes the golden apples was not one to be ignored. Enraged by their ingratitude, she clouded their minds with overwhelming desire. One day, overcome by passion, the couple gave in to their lust in the worst possible place. Inside a sacred temple of Rhea, the Titan mother of Zeus. It was a grave insult. Furious, Rhea punished them with a terrible curse. She transformed them both into lions. No longer human, no longer free. Atalanta and Hippomenes were bound forever to pull Rhea's divine chariot across the earth. And so ends the tale of Atalanta, the girl born of birth, raised by beasts, who became one of the greatest heroines in all of Greece. She outran men, defied kings, and even found death. In the end, she kept her promise. She couldn't escape the odds. It's a story that reminds us of something timeless. Strength, speed, and even love are powerful, but in the world of Greek mythology, the will of the gods always wins.